Tonight, 3 non-Koreans who have played StarCraft 2 since the very beginning look to take down an MSL Brood War champion, whilst he is on the hunt for more points to keep his BlizzCon hopes alive. This is the World Championship Series Europe Premier League. I'm Kyle Aris, and as always, alongside Apollo.
Each one of the Europeans that are playing tonight have played StarCraft 2 since its release, if not before in the beta. But as you said, they take on a player who's looking at one goal and one goal alone. It is BlizzCon. He's just outside the top 16. He's currently ranked 25th. Can he perform tonight? Because in history, looking back, he's actually lost twice in groups with only Europeans before in the WCS. Will he crumble again tonight?
All right, let's take a look at how things have shaped up so far. We've had 5 groups conclude here in WCS Europe. Only 3 more to go.
Yeah, it's been a rocky road in WCS this season. We've had a lot of upsets. Biggest one has to be Snoot, a player who dropped down in Group A on our first day, a player who is absolutely, he's in the top 16, he's looking at BlizzCon. Big loss there for him. But overall, we have a balanced distribution of races, 4 Protoss, 3 Terran, 3 Zerg. We have 6 Europeans to 4 Koreans so far in the round of 16. Who's going to make it out today, though? Lots of awesome games still to come in the round of 32. All
right, and now we start day number 6 here in the round of 32 with Group F. And let's start with arguably the clear favorite in this group, as he's looking to really push himself forward, and he's probably prepared fanatically for today. It's ForGG.
ForGG is simply amazing. His aggressive style, the nature that he loves to kill you off with timings. He's so good at playing that aggressive Terran style, but he struggles with consistency. He loses a lot and he struggles to be able to string results together. Tonight is a must for him.
Then, of course, we have a previous non-Korean hope of StarCraft 2 with a return to form recently and looking for former glory once again. It's Mana.
His second time in Premier League. It took him a long time to actually get into Premier League, only getting in there last season. And funny enough, he got into Premier League based off the win in Challenger versus Bly, who's in his group tonight. Yeah. There's going to be some revenge and some bloodshed again once again.
And third, yet another Protoss who's established his relevance in the European scene a while back, but is on the hunt for a higher than a round of 16 spot. It's Bling.
Yeah, he's been to the round of 16 once. Every other season he's played in the round of 32 and has lost in the round of 32, unfortunately. Bling is definitely a player who is round of 32 and just about 16 type of player, but he's not really much bigger than that. He really needs that extra oomph to be able to go a little bit further.
And finally, wild card of today's group, we always have one. And we haven't seen a whole lot of him in 2014, but he always has to be considered a dangerously deceptive opponent. It's Bly.
And to be honest, Bly, for me, is the best type of wild card to have in a group like this. He's so aggressive. He's awesome. He is going to be very difficult to play with. So how is he going to fare in today's group? This type of player can cause upsets very easily.
Well, that's our players. Let's take a look at how things are going to be shaping up for today here in the round of 32.
Yeah, so our second game is going to be Bling versus Mana, but our first will be opening up with ForGG versus Bly. Solid Terran versus an unpredictable Zerg. That's going to be an awesome one to kick us off. Our third game is going to be the lower bracket and, of course, the winner and then decide a match. But here is Bly. Welcome to the Premier League once again. Funny enough, his 4th appearance in Premier League, but he's never really been further than that in his entire career in Heart of the Swarm. He's never had a top 16 finish.
Yeah, and he opens up today with a very, very difficult game because in the WCS system as a whole across the last 2 years, he hasn't won a single series against Terrans.
Yeah, 0-8 versus Terrans. That's not a good record to have going up against a player like ForGG, who is our second player coming into this one. Here he is. Welcome, ForGG. 10 losses versus Zerg, 15 wins, but he's definitely, throughout WCS, looked very rocky against Zerg because his style is pretty good if he can get the machine rolling, but if he gets beaten by an all-in, which has been his kryptonite, which has been his Achilles heel often, then he gets stopped before he can really pick up the victories.
Yeah, you bring up a very, very good point because ultimately, when we've seen ForGG actually be eliminated in the past, it's been by Zergs like Vortex, for example, who have gone really, really aggressive against him and caused him a lot of problems. Bly is capable of those things, hence giving him that title of dangerously deceptive because he can bring that to the table.
He can, and I'm sure he will this evening, especially with the way that the GSL played out this morning with Samsung Solo going through. Sorry for spoilers there. I should have given you a lot, but you didn't hear anything I just said. The way that they both play is very similar, very aggressive, very love to get into the aggressive play early. And that is definitely Bly. So we'll find out. The series is almost upon us. Both players are ready. And we're going to be jumping straight into this one. I have to be favoring ForGG here. The stats are in his favor. The play style's in his favor. And he's just always been able to have a very good head-to-head versus Bly as well. In the history of StarCraft, it's 5 wins to 1 loss. Everything is in favor of ForGG.
It certainly is. Bly going to be opening things up with on King Station Station here for our first game, and I can only imagine that Bly will bring some kind of aggressive style here to ForGG. You already mentioned it before. You know, it's his Achilles heel. It's something that he doesn't fare as good against it unless it's going into a big, long macro game, or if ForGG really hits his stride and going into that mid game and is wanting to put on the pressure himself.
Well, sometimes, as mentioned before, ForGG does lose to these type of players, to this type of attack, so he's got to be very careful coming into this one. There's a lot on the line for him. I spoke to him earlier today. BlizzCon is everything for ForGG. So let's find out if he can just get past the round of 32, which sometimes seems a difficult task for some.
Alrighty, spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner, we have our red Terran representing Millennium. It's ForGG. And up to the top left, we have our blue Zerg representing Team Acer. It is Bly.
All right, here we are into the first game of the evening. And we'll try to figure out how this one's going to shape fold. I definitely feel that Bly throughout this series is going to be aggressive, for sure. But we'll see what he's going to do with ForGG.
Well, looks like for now he's just going to be sending out his first SCV, making sure that that supply depot's at the front. It can always be very important here, considering that he's going to be going up against something that could be more aggressive from Bly if he chooses to do something like that. So in the end, you know, you do want to have those walls in place, even if it's just one at the top of your ramp and then one at the front as well. You do want to kind of deny those Ling run-bys, etc. I
mean, ForGG typically is a player who does love to go command center first, but he's not going to be able to get away with that against a player like Bly. He's going to have to open up with the Reaper. He's going to have to play that more scouting-heavy style, try to figure out what's going on at all points. But I wonder if he's going to play more of his older style approach. He actually used to love going for Hellion Banshee. That was one of his favored styles back in the day. But we'll see.
Well, aside from that now, Bly here, just moving out, putting down his hatchery first. So very
look at this. ForGG's taking a later gas here. He's actually going to be going for a Marine. He could get a snipe on the Overlord here.
Oh.
And if Bly is tricked, he'll lose an Overlord straight away.
Yeah, we've been, well, we actually spoke about that briefly yesterday, but really didn't happen at all. And ForGG bringing that here could snipe that out. It gives him a little bit of an early lead if he does get it. Here's the first Marine on the way. He's rallying it to the back, waiting for that Overlord to come in. Yeah,
because the Marine pops out faster than the Reaper. So what we'll see here is the Marine pull back and then go in for it. And for anyone on stream, do not worry. We do know about the sound issue. If you're panicking and stuff, we'll try to sort that out for you very shortly. But for now, the Overlord, is he going to lose it? First Marine's out. Trickety trick.
Yeah.
Bly's going to get surprised. He's definitely expecting a Reaper.
Exactly. I mean, when that Overlord gets there, normally it gets there around the time that a Reaper would end up popping out. Actually, the Marine isn't going. The Marine isn't going just yet. He needs to get down there.
He's waiting.
Second
and
Marine's
Bly's expecting it. Bly was expecting it. He's going to move to the high ground here.
Very good
I think
start.
he's going to be okay.
Yeah.
He's going to get away with this Overlord.
He didn't go in too far, which is the all-important part of that.
Hey.
Very clever there by Bly.
Yeah, nice one there by Bly. ForGG took away the Reaper from his build here, and he went for these Marines. And unfortunately, what are these Marines for now if they're not going to be able to kill anything?
Yeah.
I mean, they're just kind of here now. A little bit unfortunate there for ForGG, who would have loved, as mentioned at the start of the show, to get some scouting in. And look at Bly. He's actually built 8 Lings.
Oh, wow.
He's built 8 Lings to capitalize on the fact that ForGG did not open a Reaper, so he's got no information. And there's only 2 Marines right now. If these Lings get a wraparound on the 2 Marines, should be 4 by the time the Lings get there. Could do a lot of damage.
Yeah, good little move here by Bly so far. He's just droning up behind this as well, so it's not like some continued all-in or whatever, but this is Bly to a T. Just, a little bit of aggression or full-on aggression. Just mixing the little bit in to start things off.
What can he get done with these Lings, though?
Separated up a few more and only showed 4 at the front. And he's actually, so clever. He actually went in and tries to get a surround on the entirety of this. Oh, just barely doesn't get it. The supply depot is down, though, so that's going to let this in. A few SCVs have to come off the line to deal with that.
Yeah, it doesn't really get too much there, though. A couple of SCVs did get pulled off, but that was about it. There's 1 or 2 Marines died, and
yeah,
that's it. So the game moves on from this point.
ForGG's crisis management there was really good. I mean, considering that there was the 4 extra Lings at the back trying to catch that out.
If ForGG had switched to Hellions or a little bit faster here and hadn't built additional Marines. He could have taken a lot more damage there, but to be honest, that was actually pretty good for ForGG. And unfortunately, Bly, he built 8 Lings. That's 4 drones, which he could have had a lot earlier on. And as little as that may sound, it's still important.
All right. Well, now Hellions are out here for ForGG. He's going to push these down. Roach Warren already goes down for Bly. Technically, because there is Hellions on the way, and he did see it with the Overlord, I believe, just then. And also knows at the front that this was going on because the Overlords have spotted it.
I mean, right now, it's leading towards the same build that we saw yesterday being played out, which is the Medivac for these Marines, straight over towards the natural area of Bly. Bly knows and saw this, and it's becoming so popular that he's going to be ready for this. So I think that Bly should be fine. He's got 3 Queens, a Spore, a Roach Warren coming in as well, building a couple of additional Roaches here is actually going to be very useful for him. I wonder if he'll take any damage at all. If he doesn't take any damage, he's going to find himself in a very, very good position.
Yeah, Bly now just... I mean,
Roach really spotted it. Evolution Chamber down, 4 Roaches. No, he knows everything that's going on.
Yeah,
he knows everything. He hasn't spotted exactly where it's going to come from, but he's anticipating it all.
Yeah.
He shouldn't really take any losses here. And if he doesn't, that's what I said, he's going to be in such a good position.
Yeah, you're right. If he does, this is a really good start for him. He's already got a Queen there to be able to try and deny. Lings are there as well.
Perfect timing. The Medivac's gone.
And the wall shouldn't be breached either. The wall should not be breached by these Hellions.
No, transfuses on the Queens. Nice defense there by Bly. Very, very solid.
Very good start. You know what? Okay, so I was talking to Bly just before today, and I had to ask him, why haven't you been at that many tournaments? What's really going on? Why are you not playing that a whole lot compared to 2013? And he said, well, I have nerve issues. At the moment, it's a bit difficult. But going into this group, he felt confident. And so far, this is a really nice start for him.
Yeah, very good start for him. And, I mean, the Hellions are going to try and run around again, but they shouldn't do anything. But yeah. Oh well. So we'll have to find out where the ForGG goes from this now, Claris. I mean, he's got tank, Marines, and Medivac around, but that's about it.
Well, ForGG here for now, just kind of keeping himself defended. Has that tank out, as adding on a few gases as well. So ultimately, what do you think ForGG is going to go into from here?
To be honest, I'm not sure. He's got he's got his 3rd coming in, but the extra barracks, he's just been slowed down quite a lot here. And to be honest, I think it's more so that how can he defend against what Bly's going to do? Because Bly's got a lot of Roaches on the way, 7 Roaches, +1 attack, Roach speed on the way. He's got his 3rd coming in. It's the problem's going to be is when we see eventually ForGG try to take his 3rd, he's going to be so low on units unless he sits back on 2 bases, which then allows Bly to get a massive economy in.
Yeah, that 3rd base is on the way. Hellions pressure on the right-hand side, but these 2 Vikings, why did he get 2 Vikings instead of just the 1? That's an interesting little move, actually.
Anything he could get with the setup that he had after that missed attacks, he's got to try and figure this out.
Yeah, actually, he can... well, he's trying to find weak spots here in the middle and getting that... Oh, well, loses one of the Vikings, but at least he has another one there. A lot of Roaches now powering across, but 3 siege tanks. The wall should be able to hold with 3 siege tanks.
I don't think he's going to try and break this, or at least he shouldn't. It's more so to keep his opponent away from a 3rd, and he can drone so intensively over to his 3rd now that he's going to set himself up so powerful for the mid part of this game. There's already drones moving over there, and I would expect to see a lot more being built now. Because ForGG's in a defensive stance, there's no need to build even more Roaches unless you're really hoping that ForGG moves out on bare minimal units and be greedy. But ForGG's probably panicking because of the amount of Roaches that he's seen, so it's perfect to build 10 drones here, +2 attack, +1 carapace, borrow, and tunneling claws here, so you're going to see a lot of Roaches and borrow movements.
Yeah, overall Tunneling Claws is a really cool choice here from him. It's cool to see actually Bly play this range style because it can be quite scary, I would say, against Terrans if they're not fully familiar with it. Of course, ForGG has probably played against this time and time again, but Bly is the kind of guy that is going to mix things up a little bit per matchup.
Yeah, and he's already found a geyser on this right-hand side. And this is all stemmed because ForGG went for that kind of drop, that push, and Bly saw it and then just defended it and found himself in great position. And this is not looking good for ForGG. 2 Medivacs full of units here. Maybe they can get something done. There's 9 Roaches being built, but that's it for the current time. And this is 15 Marines. Still without stim. Engineering bays haven't finished in 1-1 either because the tank production's been so focused on. ForGG really needs to do damage here. It needs to establish 3 bases and needs to sit tight and build a big army. I mean, that sounds kind of simple to do, but yeah.
Well, he's going to try and push in here with the 2 medevacs worth of units. Roaches are there to greet it, though. How many units is he going to lose in the end? Not too many. Not too many at all. And he added on the infestation pit in a cheeky place. At least he spotted the hive.
Road, and they're going to move into the main.
Oh, nice little move. Actually catches in the 3rd base as well.
Yeah,
doing a little bit of damage there. So this is a cool start here for Bly.
He's running circles around ForGG at the moment.
Yeah. He even went out of scan range, so those roaches are just going to push in again after that scan wastes itself.
Yeah, and ForGG's moving out now. I think he's had enough. This game is just, started to escape him. But there are a lot of roaches on the way. I'm not sure that ForGG's forces can do that much here. He's actually going to be able to siege up very nicely below the natural here. But if Bly comes from 2 sides, he doesn't necessarily need to come from 1. I think he'd be okay to crush this without significant numbers of Marines and Marauders.
Got himself a few workers in the main, and he was still doing a little bit of damage at that 3rd base. This is quite a strong army overall. Pushing forwards now against just a few roaches.
Bly shouldn't be attacking into that.
Yeah.
He gets his +2 attack complete, but he should be bringing everything around and coming from multiple sides here.
It's going to be very difficult to break that location unless he gets right on top of the siege tanks.
Yeah.
Pushing down the
natural. One base goes down already. And to be honest, ForGG's moving out with a decent amount of units here. I'm still a little bit surprised how Bly's numbers are so low.
I don't think he fully sees this army. He didn't see the army burrowing,
he can't lose his
underneath
tanks. Him. Oh, boy.
They're all going to die instantly. Absolutely. I mean, yes, the roaches do take some damage during all of that.
Yeah, but his scan should kill off all of these now if he follows them.
Yeah, bio against roaches alone is very, very strong, even without siege tank support. And look how fast those actually melt down.
10 more Hydralisks coming in. This is going to be enough to push this attack back, because ForGG's lost a lot of workers behind this.
But not only that, he's also lost like high ground advantage, and he's going to lose his +2 armor and his Hydralisk Den. So, and he also lost the Roach Warren during all of that. So he actually can't make any units right now.
Well, I think ForGG with that push may have done it here, Kalaris.
Yeah, just going straight up into the main base. Going to sit on top of that hive. These roaches as the counter-attacker, Bly's only option at this point, but he loses the hive. This Bioforce is too strong. It doesn't even have that many medevacs with it, but this is very, very difficult for him to really do anything. Roaches continue on, bringing down that bunker as well, but not even the case. ForGG holds on strong. The reinforcements coming out to be able to push that away, and wow, ForGG's done so much damage.
Yeah, this has been a pretty wild game here, and I guess that's kind of what you expect when you're going to have a game with Bly.
Yeah. Hydra's trying to find some room there to do something, but in the end now ForGG is just on the warpath. That he had the only option for him was to make infestors and swarm hosts, because this was the only tech structure he had after everything had been killed off. So a little bit of sad end to this game for Bly. He was doing well in the early stages, but just couldn't follow up against the macro of ForGG in the big push.
Yes, I mean, what does Bly really have left now? Just 6 Hydras, a couple of units popping out here and there. There's not that many medivacs, but the amount of damage output that ForGG has is huge.
Yeah, taking the base back once again. Bly elsewhere is trying to drop down hatcheries and keep that going as well, but there's very little hope at this point. Once he actually breaches this base down to the bottom right-hand corner, technically a few fungals would help tremendously against the army, but he's so down in terms of supply.
Yeah, this is...
Oh, fungal.
Well, actually...
Best fungal ever, technically.
Yeah, that was pretty good, actually. But ForGG's mining quite a lot back at home again, so he can rebuild up. But Bly stops it for now. That was a good set of fungals.
I mean, look at the income overall. It's catastrophic here.
I mean, he's not mining, is he? So.
No, not at all. So, yeah, fungals did well, but overall, they're not going to be able to contend with the sheer power behind this economy for ForGG. It's going to be very, very hard.
I mean, currently there are 40 drones, but the only one hatch that Bly has is on that right-hand side. That is the only one he can mine from, which is outside ForGG's second base.
Yeah, it's not looking promising, if I was to be completely honest with you.
I guess he's got one inside the main base too, but very little amount of resources on that.
And this Viking is actually just killing off a million overlords.
ForGG finds his hatchery on the right-hand side, which does complete.
Yeah.
He doesn't turn around with his medivac, though.
This is the happiest Viking I've ever seen.
10 kills and more counting.
There's a field of overlords for him to pick away at. There you go. GG. Game number 1 goes to ForGG. Bly put up an interesting game, though, there to start things off.
He did. I mean, it started off really well for him, and I think things were moving in the way he wanted them to. But then with that push out from ForGG, which Bly was almost ready for, but not quite ready for, ForGG was able to get back into it.
All right, so we're going to get on to game 2 in just a little bit here between Bly and ForGG.
That is right, but before we do that, we're going to have to try and sort out this sound technical difficulty that some of you are having. So we'll pop to a quick break and try to fix it to come back for the rest of the series for you.
All right. All right, then. Welcome back to the World Championship Series Europe Premier League. Our technical issues are apparently fixed.
With a quick restart of the game, which didn't work, then a restart of the PC, and bing, boom, boom.
Bing, boom, boom. We're back to that.
It's done.
Yeah, so that's now sorted magically through the powers of restarting things. All those internet service providers were correct when you rang them up. Just turn it off and turn it back on again.
All the times that you got frustrated at that guy on the phone that said, have you tried restarting it? Do not reply with, yes, I've tried restarting it, when you actually haven't, because you know that's not the problem. But actually, it can be the way to resolve it. And as simple as that, we're right back in. So sorry for that difficulty. And yeah, it was really funny because I felt like I was as a monkey with a drum and a guitar and a triangle and all these obstacles around me. While I'm like trying to do this, and then I'm like, and then you stop talking, and I'm like, okay, got to cast, and then go back do this and that and that. So it was a little bit hectic. Both of us were like that in between talking. So it was a little bit crazy that last game.
It was a difficult cast, but we got there in the end. So
bring the games on, Claris.
Let's go. Game number 2. Back into it. Bly versus ForGG down to the southern. How? Oh, I know exactly what that's done. Go to Sean's screen. Go to Sean's screen.
I'm ready to observe.
It's a fixable thing. All right. Somebody come over here, Mr. Production. you enjoy your casting for a little bit, Sean.
Okay, mate. I'm quite good at doing this. Down here in the bottom left-hand side, playing for Team Millennium. His name is Park Ji-soo, but his game ID is ForGG. And then up here to the top right, I'm not quite sure of Bly's. I do know, but I'm not even going to attempt to say it. It's Bly playing for Team Acers, the Blue Zerg. And just like that, Colaris.
Just like that, we can go back to me.
The game.
Boosh. Brilliant.
See how smooth that was?
At least we knew exactly what was up that time. So that's okay.
I am so smooth, I could work on a jazz radio.
Oh, damn. Is that what you're going into afterwards? Jazz radio?
Yeah, when eventually you guys in the audience get fed up with me, you guys in the Twitch chat get fed up with me, that day I'm going to go work for a radio station. I'm going to do smooth jazz.
I will listen to that, Apollo.
All right, interesting setup of openers. 11-11 from ForGG, which is typically the 3 Reaper, versus Spawn and Pull First here from Bly, who is trailing in this series.
And he sent out a drone scout pretty darn early to try and spot his opponent very, very quickly here. So, interesting little move. I say we fix the music, the sound, and then I don't even unmute it. Now it's unmuted, so everyone can hear stuff, and everyone's now happy.
Oh, they didn't actually hear anything throughout all of that? God damn it, Colaris.
So, there it is. It's back. It is good.
So, typically 3 Reapers are to be a pain in the backside here, if that's what we're going to see. 11 barracks allows you to go up to 3 Reapers on a good timing accord here. But Bly with Spawn and Pull First is going to have a Queen out quite fast here. Not out yet, though, and the Reaper is already approaching.
It's a bit annoying. Another Reaper going to be queued up behind that, you think? So he's actually taking gas throughout all of this as well, is Bly. Definitely wants himself some speed out. He's got 4 Lings on the way. There's the second Reaper now queued up and good to go. So first one is going to try and poke around and do a little bit of damage.
Yeah. Interesting to see how Bly's going to approach this next game. Was that how he wants to play against Terran all day? Is that what he's going to do against ForGG every time he plays?
Well, Bly sees this instantly and has to bring on back, but at the same time, first Reaper decides to hop straight up on in. He knows that he needs those Zerglings to defend against that Reaper whilst the Queen gets into position, pulls that away, but this bunker is extremely annoying.
Yeah, this it doesn't really want to allow this to complete. If it completes, he's going to have to build a lot more Lings, and that is something you do not want to be doing.
Not at all.
But
oh, the SCV! Oh, unfortunately for it was on the wrong side of that bunker, and now it's very, very difficult to really deal with.
He actually can't build that bunker anymore, unfortunately. The SCV comes close, it's going to die.
It's very, very
So
low.
that is a good defense there from Bly. Bly's going up towards 100 gas, though, and he throws down a Roach Warren.
Oh, jeez. All right, then.
All right, okay. This is the way this is going to play out, is it?
I'm going to describe him once again in the same way I did at the beginning. Dangerously deceptive, because that is Bly to a T. He's got a few Lings on the left-hand side.
These Reapers, you know, they can pop in the main base here. I mean, if they're going to dance on the natural, then that's going to be it could be dangerous. But at the same time, the queen's almost dead. So you can actually kill the queen here, which does help. But, oh, this is good for jumping in the main. Yeah, good. Scout. You need a scout.
Yeah, absolutely. 3 Reapers. Again, they do so much damage here.
Didn't scout anything.
Trying to get out of here as well.
No
he knows
scouting.
he'll have to take a little bit of shots from the queen, but we'll kill that off.
You've got to be saying, why is there like 6 or 7 lava there? Why are 7 units all of a sudden just been built?
Yeah, it's actually a really good point. He's behind this. He's going very greedy. 2 command centers, and he'll eventually jump in.
2 lings on the reactor here, which is forcing the factory to stay just by building by itself, and a supply bot because he's not finished with that command center yet.
The roaches are on the way. They pop, and he sees them instantly with the Reapers. Now they have to get out of here. But it's buying a little bit of time with those Reapers dancing around.
He's got to stay on one base, though. For quite a while here, these roaches can keep him on one base for a long time. The Reapers, though, by the way.
They're doing work.
4 drone kills.
Nice. And they're just stringing around this one queen. They could actually go to engage that one queen if they wanted.
Well, let's see how much damage the roaches do. Yeah, he's definitely going to kill this queen.
Yeah, and then he has to now deal with that with just drones alone in the main base. This could get really out of hand here.
I mean, the Reapers are doing so much.
Yeah.
We're talking 5 kills now, 6 kills,
There's
7.
nothing to contest them. Nothing. The roaches on the other side, how much can they really do now? There's a bunker there.
There's
if he just
a bunker.
repairs.
SCVs can die, but there's 3 command centers, which is just huge for this game. And ForGG dances around these lings like they were nothing. Another drone goes down. And there's even going to be a Widow Mine, I think. He built a Widow Mine, no? So
Yep.
4 Marines, 6 Marines. We're going to see a tank being built very soon. And 13 kills, 14 kills.
This, unfortunately, for Bly, is a disaster piece.
Yeah,
it's not going well.
The Reapers are still alive. Fantastic control here by ForGG. This game is... It's
I mean,
dead as a doorknob.
Even if these Reapers now die, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, they know they're going to die. So 1 last drone.
Yeah, exactly. 14 workers against 32 now, against triple command center.
And it doesn't matter that you're on 1 base, because slowly, when this tank is done, he pushes down, and that is that. Oh, that's nasty. Even now, with before, even with the Marines, he pushes down. Yeah,
he's completely happy to after that crash on that Widow Mine onto the Roaches, and even did a little bit of damage to the Overlord. So when the Roaches are gone, so is the Overlord, and then Bly is closer and closer to a supply block. It's all not going very well for our Zerg.
Yeah, the Overlord's going to die here, and yeah, 3 Roaches going to walk to the other side, but there's a Widow Mine, there's Marines, there's going to be a tank, and unfortunately for Bly, who seemingly enough on Twitter today was very confident, and I think what was the hashtag he was using? It was Bly on fire. You can interpret that in 2 ways.
Sadly, his base will be on fire.
Sadly, his base is on fire. Really, unfortunately, because this is just a weird turn of events for him. I mean, he chose the Roach Warren here to counter, but then he didn't really think about the Reapers. He thought maybe the Reapers would go back to help defend, but they stayed and did even more damage.
Yeah.
Game 1 definitely could have gone in Bly's favor, but we saw what happened there.
And think, with the setup that we see now from ForGG, he knows how greedy he can play because of how far back he set his opponent. Triple command center, double engineering bay, extra barracks. It's like night and day compared to the progression in this game.
Yeah, very good. Very good. I mean, 1-1 on the way. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy this one is for ForGG. He's going to rocket up here. When Medivacs come into the game, I mean, the funny thing is any Terran that is, all right, I'm going to win this game nice and easily. I'm going to wait for Medivacs. I'm 1-1. I'm going to push out. ForGG's like, I'm actually going to move over now.
Yeah, I mean,
he's going to kill him without any upgrade. I don't have stim. I just have 2 tanks.
I have 2 siege tanks and some Marines. Let's go.
But this is keeping the drones at 35. And it's forcing out all these additional roaches, which you don't want to be making at this point. Obviously, you'd be wanting to make drones, so it is also a smart move at the same time here from ForGG.
And even still, the small poultry force that Bly has is going to have a hard time actually dealing with these 2 siege tanks and Marines, let alone anything else. He's got a few more roaches on the way now, eventually.
If he goes back, I'm just going to kiss him next time I see him.
Yep.
Yeah, he's going to go back. I guess I owe ForGG a kiss. I mean, it's a really, really good move. There's no Zergling speed. There's no roach speed. He forces all those additional roaches for nothing here. And actually will go back to, you know, what he was planning before, which is just to get the Medivac stim, Comet Shields, and 1-1 out.
And 8 barracks and the 3rd landing super fast compared to a position that he could have been in if the Zerg had been a bit more able in this stage of the game. So, I mean, the Roaches are going to try and do something in the middle, but what can they really do here at this point?
Not much. This has been, a great hold from ForGG, really well handled, and this is... This is almost game, unfortunately. 105 supply, 78. What does Bly have to defend this? Just roaches? If somehow he can maybe buy time with counterattacks, but I mean, that's never going to work when you have 2 tank siege up Marauders Marines here. These 60 Marines, with the roaches out in the middle of the map, could just end the game.
And let's be realistic here. Bly knows how pretty much dead he is right now. So he's trying to find ways in, but when these medevacs hit, unfortunately for him, his army in the middle of the map, he sees this, has to bring all those roaches back as well. He has no units at home. He's just been trying to drone, catch up, but ForGG's not going to allow that.
I mean, yeah, when Stim is done with 1-1 upgrades, he can take the roaches on.
Yeah, so even takes an evolution chamber down here because it doesn't matter, and boosts on out. A few roaches trying to do something in the mineral line, but in the end, doesn't even get the siege tank.
Yeah, not looking so good here. 12 additional drones here. So Bly's economy is actually going to be turned on to a good, in comparison to each other here. There's actually going to be a decent amount of income for Bly, but currently he has 13 roaches, and there is not really enough to stop double drops here. So we're going to see double drops towards the 3rd base at the north here, which ForGG is expecting it to be there, and then double drops inside the main. And yeah, he can't really get into the main with roaches on patrol there, but he will get access to the 3rd. And because Bly's so few on roaches, he's only got 13. He cannot defend 2 areas. He actually cannot.
Yeah, finds these medevacs on the left-hand side as well. As you said, just doesn't have the units to really deal with this. And ForGG is just solidifying his position. There's no reason for him to go super crazy all-in aggression mode here, or even just push across with what he has right now. Once he maxes out, it's going to be a maxed-out Terran going up against like a 120 supply Zerg.
Yeah.
It's going to be kind of one-sided.
And ForGG's 167 supply, didn't even see him climb up that fast. He's got 16 Marines in the main, 16 on 3rd. And picks up and it just flies away. There's nothing to stop in the sky, and ForGG's pulling him apart here, unfortunately. A very sad start here for Bly in this Premier League group. Definitely not, obviously not the way he wanted this to go.
Yeah, not the best start. There you go. GG game number 2 goes to ForGG. He takes the series, moving on to the winners match.
And just like that, game 1 is over with a couple of technical difficulties on the way, but eventually we got there, and 2-0. So congratulations to ForGG, finds himself in the winners match. And that is good for ForGG now, who just needs to beat one of the next 2 players. It's going to be a Protoss either way, and it's going to be Mana versus Bling. And I am actually quite looking forward to this series. We've seen it a lot in WCS already. They played twice last season. The first time they played in the round of 32, we saw Bling win 2-0. And then Mana got him again in the decider match, and then 2-0'd Bling to actually eliminate him from the WCS season. So they get to meet again here, and I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it's become a little bit of a budding rivalry in PvP that we've seen, just a little bit of. It's going to be a good one, though. Join us after the break when we have series number 2 here from Group F, WCS Europe.